Hello again and welcome back to my YouTube channel. That's really weird to say. I look like shit because I'm filming a get ready with me. So I've already moisturized and primed to save like a little bit of time. So I'm just gonna get into this because we'll see how much editing I can figure out. I don't know. I need help. This is a look. Looks great. So I got a lot of questions about my tattoos. I got my first tattoo on the morning of my 18th birthday. So my most painful tattoo or tattoos, definitely my palms. It's a sad baby and a happy baby. But keep in mind, I can't feel, that's another question I got is, can I feel my tattoos on my legs? I cannot. So I have the bottoms of my feet tattooed. I'm sure that probably is more painful than your palms, but I just didn't feel mine because I can't. My most meaningful tattoo, first tattoo was this one flower right here, and then I added onto it later and got obviously got my whole chest done with the same flowers. They're magnolias. They're my niece's birth flower. My niece was born premature and she passed away as an infant, so when I was 10. So I got my my first tattoo for her, and then I have her, this is really hard to show, right here I have her initials, which are MC for Melanie Catherine, and then I have her birthday right there is 555. Those are the only tattoos I have that actually have meaning. Other than that, I just get tattoos because they look cool or because I was bored, you know. I don't know, I just like tattoos. They don't have to have meaning. I always get asked this in person a lot, if I'm gonna get a face tattoo. What do you guys think? Should I get a face tattoo? Fuck it. Maybe. We'll see. I also got a lot of questions about my ears because they're obviously little buttholes. I get asked all the time if I regret stretching them and if I want to get them sewn up. No. I like my earlobes. I worked super hard to get them to look the way that they do. I wanted to have big plugs to wear, and I did. I got my ears up to 2 inches at one point, which was my goal. And then once I did, I was like, you know what, I haven't had any plugs or tunnels or anything in my ears for about, I say like three or 4 years probably, like 3 years probably. So this is as small as they're getting, and I am perfectly okay with that. I feel like there's no segue because nothing else is about like body mods or anything. What type of music am I into? I've been like super into like surf punk for the past year probably, like really into it, and like indie music, maybe like a soft rock or like a class, like grunge. Fuck, I don't know. The only two genres, like broad genres that I can think of that I just genuinely dislike are like country music and like EDM. It's just not my thing, you know. I wouldn't pick it. What genre of like movies are my favorite? 110% horror movies are the best. And I like for TV shows, I just really like cartoons. Do I smoke weed? Do you smoke weed? I got some questions about high school too. It was like, what type of person was I in high school, or was I like popular in high school? I don't think so. I don't know. It's always hard to tell like what other people think of you, you know, how other people perceive you. That's something that you can't really know for sure. I got a question that said like I wanted to know about my crazy high school story. I thought that was an interesting question because I've never really been asked that before. And oh boy, I have a lot of high school stories. I would say I was a little bit rebellious. I went to parties a lot and I got into trouble a lot. One story that stands out a lot is one night we were partying at this house. The last thing that I remember was that like I was trashed. Like I was super drunk. Apparently, my boyfriend at the time tried to carry me to the bathroom. When we got to the bathroom, I guess he dropped me or like he slipped or something, and then I hit my head on the toilet bowl. I remember waking up the next morning and I'm like, God, my head hurts. And I reach up and there's like a goose egg on my head. Like I have the hugest lump on my head. I was like, dude, do you not remember last night? I was like, nope. Could be the alcohol poisoning or the concussion. But no, I don't remember. I should have stopped drinking then, because then I have a lot more like drunk stories. If you've been following me on Instagram, you would know that I frequently fall on my face. I've always been a very clumsy person. And then now that I'm in a wheelchair, I'm clumsier. And then when you add alcohol into the mix, you end up in the hospital. First time that happened, this was the first Christmas after my accident, so almost a year after. I'd gone to a family Christmas party, completely blacked out. Like I don't remember leaving at all. I remember getting home. It's like the public hallway in my apartment building. I go out into it, completely naked, no clothes on. My boyfriend at the time told me that he came out into the hallway. I was face down on the floor in the public apartment hallway, butt naked, with my wheelchair tipped over and a puddle of blood around my face. I ended up going to the hospital after the fact. I guess the ambulance got called that night and they offered to take me to the hospital, but I refused. Because when you're drunk, you make great decisions. So I went to the hospital the next day to get it like checked out, and they said they could stitch it, but they would have to reopen it. I said, no, you're not reopening a wound on my face. No, thank you. So that was fun. The second time, I actually was not that I was drinking, but I was out at some bars with my friends, and then we decided to go to this park that I've never been to before. It's pitch black. I'm like, you know, like cruising along, whatever. I don't notice that there's train tracks. There's lots of excuses, but it happened. I didn't notice them. I fall directly onto my face, onto the train tracks. So I can feel that I definitely hit the metal with my mouth. It feels kind of serious, but I'm like, just brush it off. Okay, my friend's like, Em, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Just, you know, someone just helped me up into my chair. So, you know, they helped me back up into my chair. Once I get into my chair, I spit a huge mouthful of like dark blood and like chunks of my teeth. And they're like, what is going? You're not okay. What is going on? I'm like, I'm fine. Shortly after, I decided I was not fine. I had a huge gash in my lip. My whole face was like super scraped up. Because the next few weeks, actually, my whole face, my eye was swollen shut, my lips were huge, and just everything was very messed up, really bad. But I went to the hospital, no concussion. They could stitch my lip if I wanted them to. Again, I declined once again because I just don't want them stitching my face. And then this last one was just a few months ago. It was actually when I filmed the cut video with my brother. And then I remember leaving. I was fine. I was drunk, but I wasn't like blacked out, you know, like I wasn't like falling over yet. We go down to like this cantina down the street and taking more shots all night long. My brother told me that he had called an Uber. We were going home. He turned around to tell me like, okay, let's go. And he said he saw my wheelchair, but he didn't see me. I fell forward onto my face, and then that's when I got this. I have a scar right here. It's like pretty bad road rash, and then I scraped here, I scraped my forehead, I scraped my chin, and my tooth went through my lip again. That time when I went to the hospital, they didn't offer to stitch anything. They were just yelling at me for being drunk because I was being drunk. Drinking has caused me a lot of pain in my life, and I actually have not been drinking. I make better decisions. I keep my face safe. Please don't preach to me about drinking. I get it. I'm not drinking. Lots of questions about my dogs. So, I would die for a dog that I don't even know. Like, oh my god, I love dogs so much. So I am a very big advocate for rescuing animals. So people always ask me, you know, if mine are rescues. Stella I did not get her from a shelter, unfortunately, because, believe it or not, the shelters in my area will not adopt out to me because of my wheelchair. They will not let me volunteer because of my wheelchair. They say I can't adopt because I'm not active enough. They have no idea. And I can't volunteer because it's a liability. And I'm like, have me sign a waiver. I will get mauled to death by dogs and die so happy. This older couple had her and only her. They said they got her. She had some health issues. They didn't know how to take care of her. They had never had a dog before. They just couldn't handle it. So she needed to be rehomed. She had this thing called puppy strangles, which is just like their eyes and their nose get kind of like bumpy and swollen, and you know, it's painful and it's itchy, and she needs to be on antibiotics and steroids for a few months. She's a healthy little brat now, so she's doing great. My dogs, but my first dog, her name was Darla. It's a collage of her back there that my sister made for me. I had her, and she was amazing, like the best dog in the whole world. Like, I mean, perfect. I wanted to get a puppy for her to raise so that I could have another her, which was selfish, but it worked. Pixie acts a lot like Darla, and it makes me really, really happy. So how I got Darla, I rescued her personally. I used to walk past my sister lived really close to my high school, and so I would walk to her house every day during lunch. I would walk past this house every single day, and there was a dog outside, a dog that was chained up, very, very skinny, matted, dirty. She was sleeping underneath a broken down car that was in the front yard. I had seen her eating out of garbage bags. I would stop, I would pet her. I would go to my sister's house, I would grab some dog treats and some like deli meat and stuff, and then I would go back to the house and give them to her and pet her and, you know, tell her what a good girl she was. And then one day when I walked past and, you know, said hi, and then was going to my sister's house to grab this dog some treats, she started barking at me, and I just started crying. So I go to my sister's house and I'm like, dude, I'm taking this dog. I have to. We went into the yard, we unchained her. I couldn't get the collar off her neck because it was so embedded into, it was so small, so embedded into her that we had to actually cut it off later. But as we were taking her out of the yard, the people pulled up who own this dog. Pull up. They said, go ahead and take her. You know, they don't want her, and she doesn't have a name, so you can call her whatever. And they also have more puppies inside if you want some puppies. Lucky for me and lucky for Darla, because we found each other. And then I called the local shelter and said, you know, there's this house and they have puppies inside, and they said they don't want them. I just felt so bad for her, but I gave her the best life, and she was the most amazing dog. And I used to take her everywhere with me, like, I mean, everywhere. I would take her to the movies, I would take her to restaurants, I would take her to the grocery store, I'd take her to doctor's appointments. Like, she would come visit me when I would have to stay in the hospital. Like, I think that's why I try to be an advocate for homeless animals, because they don't deserve that. You know, what do they do? Just innocent, nice little babies that deserve all the love and care in the world. It's not fair. Oh, I got a question that said, would I ever go to schools and share my story about drinking and driving and my accident, me being paralyzed and everything? I have. I actually went to a high school earlier this year. One of my old middle school teachers, she works at a high school now, and she asked me if I would be willing to come share my story with the high school students. Some of them came up to me afterwards and thanked me. A lot of the teachers came up to me afterwards and thanked me. It was extremely rewarding, and I feel like that was a big step for me, to be able to talk to such a big crowd about my experience and everything that I've been through. And I would definitely do it again, a million times. I would love to. And I think that kids need to hear that, you know, because I told them, like, go out and party and have fun with your friends, just don't drink and drive. It's pretty simple. It's a really easy thing to avoid. Spend the night, take an Uber, don't be stupid. Okay, well, that was my, like, chit-chatty, get ready with me kind of Q&A type thing. I still don't know what I'm doing. Help me out. If you guys enjoyed this, you know, leave a thumbs up, I guess. I hope you guys like this. If you want to see anything else, just comment down below and let me know what you want to see. I'm gonna wash all of this off that I just put on my face and then try to get some sleep. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.